Riverland footy time, and it is the Friday night sports show repeated on Saturday morning. The Flow Man with Beaver Venning. He joins us now. G'day, Ben. How are you?
Yeah, good, Wayne.
Look, I know that it's hard to come on the radio after Wakery got a loss because, well, they don't lose too often, but Loxton have done the job. 13-7-85 to beat the Magpies 9-10-64. Beaver, the Loxton Tigers are back.
Yep, they're up and about, and it's been a long time, so it was interesting being in their club rooms after the game. It was full and chockers and, people up and about, and it's good for them and good for the competition. They've been down for a while now, and, to have them back up and about is good for the comp. So, they've done some hard work. They got Dylan Millard across from Barmera, who's, went out and got a couple of good recruits from the Evans boys and got their local ones back, like the Gutschkis and the Fishers, and, really bolstered their stocks, and they were really good on the weekend. Evans was their best. Gutschki had a really good game. Yeomans, Fisher in the middle as well, and one of the other Evans boys had a good game. Millard, their coach, and up front they had a few that kicked some goals as well. Romeo, Eagle, Pont all kicking two, the rest singles. For us, Leaky Exton tried his best all day. Hamish Bigwood in for his first game for our club. Had a good game. Geeman and Miller also had some good games and the best players. Spencer tried his best with 3 and Moons 2. They were just too good, Wayne. We came out and got a jump on them. We had the wind and, kicked 5-3 to their 1-1. In the second quarter there, they caught right up to us. We didn't score, and they got 5 goals to go in at the break with a bit of a lead. And then in the third quarter, you thought with the win we'd come back, but we they kicked 4 and we kicked 1, and that was probably the end of the game. And from there on, and in the last quarter, we all scored the same amount of goals. But no, good win to them, 21-point winners, and they're the team to beat at the moment, Wayne.
They are. Mickey Zerner and that team there at Loxton Irrigation would be absolutely pumped with this result. That is for sure. Well done. And look, Jace, the Renmark, the Rovers, 18-19, 127, beat Barmera Monash 2-3-15. A massive win by those Rovers.
Did it easy, really, didn't they? Far too good, over 100 points in anybody's language. That is a bare-bottom spanking, Beaver. Yeah,
no, it wasn't good for the Roos on the weekend. Obviously, they've lost a few players from a couple of years ago. They brought a few old players back in that played for the club years ago. Benny Fisher's back in. I see he got in the best. Wilden's back as well from Mildura. Mason Middleton, after playing league at West Adelaide. So they've got some good players in there. And, they performed on the weekend, getting their best. And Mason was the only one that kicked any goals for him, kicking 2. But when you look through the Rovers, Renmark's lineup, it's, full of class. And Wolford was their best. Agostino back from West Adelaide, second best. Wolford, who's, won the medal here before. Haynes, Zunic, Garrett. Zunic kicking 4, Charlton, one of their other new guys, kicking 3. They're a powder, a good football club this year. Obviously just went down to Loxton a few weeks ago, but to come out and beat the Roos by over 100 points, they're the real deal, Renmark, and something we've got to keep an eye on in the future.
Indeed. The other game, of course, Loxton North, and I tipped them to beat Berry here, and way wrong. Berry obviously got a few back, 11-6-72. Loxton North, 7-11-53. Beaver, what happened here?
Yeah, look, I guess we played Berry in the first round, and they were missing a few in that first game. Big Jason Papa Sutherland, he was missing. He came out in his first game and kicked 3 in the weekend. Also, I think Jolly's back in the side now as well. He's had experience in the SANFL as well, so a couple of big ins for him. Brodie Thompson, after having a year at Centrals last year, was their best. Langford, Penaluna, Teesdale, Voigt and Saffolettes all had good games. Saf also kicking goals. You don't see Saf kick goals very often. He's normally, down back, but he kicked 3 as well. Reese Lehman 2. Just too good in the end. Loxton North, Lockie Henschke back. He was their best. Kicked a couple of goals as well. Keenan Wilch kicked 3. Joel Worsford, Josh Nelson, Michael Scott, the other better players for him. But, Demon's too good, and, they're sitting 4th on the ladder, and it's probably the first time they've been there for a while.
Oh, I tell you what, Beaver, it is a good round of football, this one. We've got the big one between Berry and Loxton Will start favourite here.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't go past Loxton at the moment. To come out and beat Wakery like they did last week, it's huge for them. And, Raph Little and Pont giving them something up forward to kick to. Gutschke through the middle. The Evans boys look dangerous. Millard down back. They'll have to keep an eye on big pumper for Berry. I see his name at full forward, so probably Teely will go to him. Safralides is having some good footy at the moment. Brodie Thompson in ruck, so he'll be up against Big Craig Fisher. But yeah, look, I think even though it's at Berry's home ground, I think Loxton are the team to beat at the moment in the comp, and I think they'll win this one.
Yeah,
I would think so too. Loxton North, they'll host Renmark, and you'd think Renmark will start clear favourites here too. But Loxton North a little bit up and down. Who knows what they'll produce?
Yeah, look, should be an interesting game. I think it's sort of lining up at the moment, just looking at the results. There's probably going to be three teams that are going to, probably be up the top this year, and maybe Berry fourth, and Barmer and Loxton North look like they may struggle this year. I see Michael Arnold's back in this week for Loxton North, so hopefully he can kick some goals for them. They'll be looking to Hampel and Scott and Worsfold in the midfield, but they're up against, some good players there. For Renmark with Timmy Walford in great form, Agostino back from West Adelaide. I noticed Joshy Vader's name this weekend, so I thought Josh is a bit more footy. He's been injured, but they've named him, so maybe he's back as well. They'll be looking to Zunic and Obst to kick some goals for Renmark, but I think just on paper, Renmark far too good, and they should have an easy win.
If Vader back into that side is just another strengthening unit in their midfield. But what about this? Will all three away clubs win? I'd say so. Waikerie head over to the lakeside at Barmera.
Yeah, hopefully, Wayne. I mean, you look at that result against Renmark on the weekend, and Barmera obviously struggling a little bit. Probably the keys for us is to make sure Mason Middleton doesn't kick too many goals. Butterworth in the midfield is a great player, and I expect to see him play quite well. So him and Moons will probably go at it, and it'll be a good duel. Matty Taylor up against Farley in the ruck should be interesting. Jakey Smith's back in the side this week as well for Barmera, so he's a huge in, as well as Jack Self. Both have played in their premiership wins in the past, so that'll bolster them a little bit. For us, we need to find a way to kick some goals now. We've lost Mumford up forward. We've got Cooper Mackworth's name there at full forward tomorrow. Miller, Braun up forward as well, so hopefully these guys can take some marks and kick some goals. But going on results, I'd like to think we can get up there, Waikerie, and have a win.
All right, now, let's get to Independent. It was Wonka, 12-10-82, Blanchetown Swanreach 1-1-7. Beaver, Blanchetown Swanreach kicked 30 goals the week before, and Anthony got 16. This time they got 1 goal, and Anthony got 1.
Yeah. No, look, I think you'll find Brownswell, who they played the week before, are really struggling. There's already talk that this could be Brownwell's last year in the comp, talk of them folding next year already. So that's the reason there. I think you'll find Brownswell are going to be right down the bottom, and Blanchetown obviously come up against them the other week, and Anthony had a day out. But, the Wonka Bulldogs, they've got a lot of young ones in this year, and they're up and about, and had a good win over the BSR Redbacks.
Gee whiz, I'm worried about what Wonka will do to the Brownswell down the track. But Paringa, it was their turn to kick a cricket score this week, 24-21-64. Brownswell 2-2-14, 150 points even.
Yeah, big win to Paringa. Obviously they're a great side. They've always been up around the mark every year, and they're continuing on their way again this year.
Low-scoring game. Ramco got over St Anne Canberra. A little upset maybe, and maybe sign of things to come. Ramco could be right up there this year, 7-11-4-10.
Yeah, look, I think they might be, early flag favourites. To have a good win over St Anne Canberra, they're always up there and have a good side. Ramco have got some good players. Stole a couple from Waikerie as well, so they'll be up and about, and good win by them.
Indeed. This week's round of Riverland Independent, my boys Cobb Dogler well rested. They take on Blanchetown Swanreach. If they can control Anthony, they should win.
Yep, I agree. I think Cobby recruited well this year. They'll be in the top 4, and I think they'll have an easy win this weekend over BSR.
And Paringa take on Sedan Cambrai. Of course, these two sides played off at a grand final a couple of years ago in Independent. I'm going with Paringa at home to upset Sedan Cambrai.
Yeah, I'm going to go against you, Wayne. I think this will be definitely match of the round. Could go either way. It's hard to pick. I know Paringa are very hard to beat, but I've just got a feeling that Sedan Cambrai might win this one.
And I alluded to this earlier. The Bulldogs of Wonka, they will head out to take on the boys from Brownswell, and oh dear.
Yeah, I agree. Joe, I think you might have a good win here, mate. Look, I think Bombers are going to be in for a long year. And, even one of my clients who plays for them says, they're really struggling. So I think the Bulldogs will have a good win here over the Bombers.
It's a good weekend of Riverland football. The Beaver is back. He didn't mention it earlier in the game that was covered, but he was the best player for Waikerie in that loss. So
time to swing him forward, I reckon.
He's got some talent still, the Beaver. He can rack up the numbers if you need to in the ruck too.
It's amazing what money can buy, boys.
Good on you, Beaver.
Good stuff, Beaver. We'll catch you next week.
Good on you, boys.